right then.
I propose a toast.
To what?
We survived through day 3.
All right, to day 3. And the ducks. So day 3 of the actual power tour.
Day 3, and mechanical issues are not really cropping up, but noises that could or could not be a problem.
Yeah, potential calamitous noises,
Yeah.
which are
Power steering and fuel delivery.
yeah. So
Could be nothing.
Fuel pump's making noise, and I haven't been clever enough to notice whether it makes more noise when the tank is full or empty.
Right.
Doesn't seem to be heating up, doesn't be causing a delivery problem.
No.
So we'll have to keep an eye on it. I think the the power steering pump noise we're hearing is actually could be caused by that bypass valve.
Correct.
Sending more in there. Relieved a fair amount of pressure from the tank when I opened it up earlier.
Okay.
Don't know what that means.
We'll find out.
But sort of as I like to say, the doomsday scenario is we lose power steering.
Right.
Nothing that's going to stop us.
I don't think so.
There you go. There you go. So we rewind back. We left pretty early Saturday morning to make it down to Arlington from your place.
And if I remember correctly, the first thing we did was turn the key, and the car wouldn't start.
So naturally, I leapt into action as I do.
Mm-hmm.
Really went to the driver's side of the automobile, went back, checked the fuses that we'd had a problem with the day before after your little escapade with the motor died and you had to have it towed back.
And that's about the time I remembered that I had removed the Sentry security key from the 2006 Dodge that's up in the dash for safety.
In your own driveway.
In my own driveway.
Probably the safest neighborhood in all of Kansas City.
Yeah, and I forgot all about it.
Yeah,
And so
unlike now where the car's parked in a parking garage in Memphis, Tennessee, and you just left it there. I think the car is actually still running.
it may or may not actually be there.
So actually, so we were able to get in the car, drive south on 35 towards Arlington. It's a pretty boring drive. It's just long and boring.
Straight line, though.
Stop for donuts.
Is that day 1?
I think we did. Wasn't it day 1? This is day 3. We must have stopped on day 1.
I think you're right.
Yeah, stopped, got some donuts, got a box of donuts.
Yep.
Got some pierogies, which what we've learned is a fancy name for pigs in a blanket, by the way.
And then some sort of
Actual pigs in a blanket.
yeah. Oh, is the pierogi the
Donuts.
jalapeno thing?
Yeah, the pierogi's
Okay.
like a full hot dog.
All right.
Anyway, so we got some of those. Drove on, no problem. Kind of cranked on the highway. I became convinced I smelled fuel, which I certainly did, because it's not the sort of thing you imagine. So naturally we pulled over and inspected, expecting to find a loose fuel line, and instead found absolutely nothing. Some other car passengers, not our problem.
Yep.
Which is good. But until about an hour and a half later,
Oh, is that when we actually ran out again?
that's actually when we ran out of fuel. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is a more distinct condition. You can notice it by the fact that your vehicle fails to proceed forward under its own power, and you come coasting to a stop under an underpass. So that's what we did.
The good thing is we were able to get off the highway.
Yeah, off the highway, no problem. Under the underpass and parked in the shade, kind of. Bill went wandering off to go find fuel.
As the owner of the vehicle,
And,
I felt that was my responsibility.
Responsibility, sure. And as the person responsible for calibrating the fuel gauge, having installed it,
That too.
also your responsibility.
That too.
But thanks to the miracle of the internet and your iPhone, we knew that there was a gas station probably only a mile or so away,
Right.
which is longer than Bill's capable of walking. So luckily, from my perspective, I'll tell you the story, which is I'm sitting there and killing time and shutting things down and kind of prepared for the long haul to sit in the shade and get bitten by bugs and that sort of thing. And couldn't have been 15 minutes, maybe 20. I look up and walking down the road, around the corner comes Bill, carrying a big fucking metal gas can, which appears to be full of something,
Gasoline.
actually full of fuel. And it's an old school round metal gas can, about that big. It's even bigger than Bill, if you. No spout of any kind. Luckily, we had a last-minute addition of an actual funnel.
Yeah, that was the last thing I grabbed.
So we were able to dump at least 5 gallons of gas in the vehicle,
And 1 gallon of gasoline onto my shoe.
which then caused a fuel smell in the vehicle for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So dumped the fuel in there, went around there, and thanked the nice people at the Hertz Equipment Rental, whatever town that was.
Outside of Oklahoma City. Hertz Equipment Rental. Curtis Gray.
Curtis Gray. So if you ever need to rent any equipment, you see Curtis Gray. He'll hook you up, I'm sure of it.
Nice
like a
man.
fork truck or one of those scissor lifts or any of that shit.
Yeah. Or those things, those big, is that a scissor lift thing with a platform that you,
Yeah.
cherry
One
picker
of those.
kind of thing?
Yeah, he's your man.
So in less than a half hour,
Yeah,
we were back on the road. So that was one of those moments where you just feel sort of lucky / blessed / happy to be an American, and away we went. And I believe that was the last real drama for the day.
Yep, I think so. That's correct, yeah. Made it all the way to Arlington for us in plenty of time. Got checked in.
Yep.
Got our credentials, our fabulous credentials. Saw some vehicles, managed to find the place we have to go and actually get your credentials stamped. Each day you have to go in and time punch your card to show you're actually doing the long haul every day.
Mm-hmm.
So we managed to do that, which is terrific.
And that was the only day that I've been nervous about it, because
we were kind of late.
We got there a little late. We got there with an hour to spare, which is plenty. But when we were driving, basically, if we do not achieve long hauler status, I will be disappointed. Won't be the end of the world, but I will be disappointed.
That's what we're doing. It's do the long hauler thing.
Because I want my long hauler swag.
I'm sure there's a sticker of some kind, or maybe a decal.
That's fine.
We got our Arlington. We did get our decal. We went and got the Painless Wiring Long Power Tour 2013 decal.
Mm-hmm. We never quite figured out how to get that last year with the judge, because we just were sort of clueless.
Well, not just clueless, but one thing about this event is that it's amazingly poorly documented.
Yeah.
There were no signs at all in Arlington about it. We kind of meandered our way, and since then we found that the local venues have been better about putting up signs.
Yeah.
Tell us where to go, so that you can come in as a participant versus a spectator or somebody who needs to register. You actually know where to go. But Arlington was actually kind of tight in terms of it was one big giant parking lot when it starts.
Yeah.
It's the smallest number of cars. They said it was 1,400 cars when we left the next morning.
And today it was what, 3,000?
It had to be 3,000 cars. It was huge today. Big, huge local turnout, which is cool. But anyway, day 2, Arlington to Texarkana. Left Arlington, Texas. You jump on the highway and kind of get out of the Dallas Metroplex, head towards Texarkana. Not a lot over there. Very cool. I will say that was so far the best day of roadside spectators.
Yes, it's very fun.
A lot of big groups of people.
It's very fun to watch the folks come out.
Because it was a Sunday.
They weren't working. People weren't working. They were home, back from church, ready to watch some hot rods fly by their house, and it's a blast. I mean, it's really, it's the waving hand gets sore after a while. But
that's why I switched to this.
Oh, that's nice.
So if they've got their own car, they like to point at their car.
Right.
A lot of people bring out their own cars and park them out there.
Yep.
Point at their car to say,
and
no, hey, it's about you, buddy.
Speaking of that, a lot of those cars were, obviously we were driving by them at 60 miles an hour, but you could tell they were remarkably nice cars.
Oh yeah.
One old couple had a Factory 5 33 kit car, which just looked awesome. They were sitting by it.
Yeah, a lot of great automobiles. People out there really into it, and obviously knew that it was coming by, which I wouldn't have known if it was my street. So made it to Texarkana. Any drama along the way? Well, one stop.
Texarkana.
We had a hospitality stop there, local car club. Yeah. You go through towns and local car clubs have set up a little hospitality stop for you.
And I was kind of surprised to see that nobody had pulled over while we were there.
It was on the left-hand side of the road. Maybe that was it.
Yeah, it was on the left-hand side of the road. And that was when you said, please avoid a head-on collision. Yeah. Because in my glee for a free Coke, I almost hit a truck. Yeah. But they were real nice, and we were, the instant we got out of the car, and some guys came up and were asking about it and wondering what in the hell we were doing and what this thing was. And as we were kind of meandering around, I noticed that the bolt that holds the brake calipers in on the right side.
Brake pads.
Yes, the brake pads. The calipers were securely fastened. You slide the pads in, and then you put a retaining bolt through there. Yeah, we're doing great. Thank you. and apparently I had forgotten to tighten up the lock nut that went on the back of that bolt. So when I walked by, the bolt had slipped out and was basically as far out as the spinning wheel would let it get, and it never made any noise.
I don't think it contacted you.
Well, I think it did.
Was there noise? Was there a mark on it?
There was a couple of marks around the edge of it, and I think it actually wanted to come out, but it never did.
But it was actually our high speed that kept it in there.
Yeah, high speed
is safe, kids. Keep that in mind.
Yeah,
The faster you go, the less bolts can fall out.
So, was that Sunday? That was Sunday.
That was Sunday, yeah.
So nothing around was open.
So we actually asked the local folks there, said, hey, is there a hardware store? Nope. Walmart, 12 miles away.
Yeah, and so the brake pads held for 12 miles.
Off we went, yeah.
And while we were there, we got all manner of provisions for the trip.
We did, bought some towels, some nice sort of cleansing wipes to
because
get the sweat off.
He doesn't like being dirty.
I don't like being dirty.
Whereas I can be dirty for a fairly long time.
I'm not into that.
I'm not into it, but I can do it.
But I will say that quite definitively, you like the little cleansing wipes. You like the refreshing. You like the refreshment.
No, I won't argue that. What I'm saying is, I can tolerate the filth longer than you can.
I'll admit I cannot tolerate the filth. So yeah, Texarkana. Got Texarkana. Texarkana itself is horrible.
Yeah, I didn't care for it.
I did not like the town at all.
Yeah.
But
wait a minute.
Texarkanans.
There is one thing about Texarkana I like.
What's that?
Tice, automotive heating and cooling.
Was that in Texarkana? I thought that was Little Rock.
Is that Little Rock?
Yeah, it was Little Rock. So Texarkana was Little Rock.
We'll edit that out.
I think that was Little Rock.
No, I think you're right, because that was Monday.
Yeah, it was yesterday, Monday. So Sunday, got there, got the venue in plenty of time. Texarkana, what did the venue actually look like? Was it paved or grass?
It was both. It was mostly grass, but it was both.
You know what Bill really liked about Texarkana?
Oh.
Texarkana is where Bill was selected as Ride of the Day with the Hot Rod Magazine people.
Yeah, we were getting ready to leave.
Getting ready to drive it out.
We were waiting kind of in the
Two guys in golf carts come whizzing up, stop us, like almost did one of those pit maneuvers to try and stop us with their golf carts.
Yeah.
Guy jumps out, informed us that the Duster is the
They want to talk to me about the Duster, and frankly, the only reason I did this was to get attention.
There you go,
and it worked on day 2. So now if I break down,
done.
Whatever.
Guy gushed over it. It took probably 20 minutes.
Yeah, we kind of sat and talked. We stood.
2 camera guys went around, did a whole bunch of B-roll, took a bunch of stuff. We'll see if it actually shows up anywhere. But
it should.
There you go.
So that was kind of fun. So I don't even know where to go to look at it. I guess hotrod.com or something.
We'll find it eventually. But I will say the other thing I've noticed is when you're driving by these towns or out in the countryside, you slow down, you can see people accelerate, you can hear them. And you can regularly hear people say, Duster, or Hemi Duster.
Right.
So people like the Duster.
And I swear,
because it's not a Camaro. No offense to Camaro people, because Camaros are great. And it's absolutely not a Corvette, which are not very great.
Well, see, that's the thing. They are great, but they're not.
They're not. Yeah, there's a lot of them, and they're very clean and very nice, and it's but they're not Dusters or anything that's unusual. So, but people love the guy in the Yugo.
The Yugo is awesome.
People like the Dusters. People like the non-standard cars. All the wagons people like. And not that they're not all great, and just doing the whole thing is awesome. I mean, I could do it in my car.
And I have to admit, as much as I love the Duster, there are times when I wish I was in an SV. What is it? Cadillac wagon, SVT?
No, that's Ford's thing.
What is it? CTSV wagon. There are times when I kind of wish I was sitting in leather seats that are cool.
Yeah.
But as we have discussed before, it's just too easy.
It is too easy. So we left Texarkana the next morning. As you do, Texarkana, by the way, having been Sunday, the hotel itself was horrific.
Yeah.
It was terrible. It was all backed up. Apparently, they didn't expect the 200 people with reservations to actually show up.
Yeah.
So it was a clusterfuck to check in.
We got there by 6, 7,
5. Yeah, it was 6.
5.
6. Yeah, it was not that late.
And the attached Mexican restaurant where I was hoping to enjoy margaritas and enchiladas and shit like that. They were sold out, closed. No beer.
By sold out, I mean no beer, no food.
No food, gone. So we had to find other venues on a Sunday night,
which did not work out very well.
In Texarkana.
Yeah, I looked it up on the internet, found a place that looked like it might be decent.
Iron Gate
Grill or something like that.
They had a fancy sign.
We get there, closed on Sundays entirely. We go across the street to another Mexican restaurant. They close at 9. We get there at 9, and they're actually kicking people out. They're so dedicated about closing. We went from there to Hooters of all places.
Hooters.
Hooters, and I haven't been to Hooters ever, literally.
Snob.
Get there, and as we're going in, there's a group of guys coming out who told us, "Don't go in there. We've been in there for 2 hours. We couldn't eat."
Never
There's
got
a taco
served.
place around the corner, so we went basically followed them down to this other place. Basically a fast food sort of taco chain.
What it was called?
Yeah, Fuzzy.
Fuzzies.
Fuzzy taco. Actually decent, in and out there. But they also closed at 10, so they were
Right.
like turning on the lights.
At
and
a
kicking
quarter
us out
till, and
at a
that
quarter
sort of
till.
rubbed me the
That
wrong
kind of
way.
pissed me off. So Texarkana, not my favorite place.
No, actually, we encountered a lot of lovely people in Arkansas,
Yeah,
but
Texarkana.
the overall vibe of Arkansas was not
No,
really.
the roads are not really very well maintained either. So, but yeah, we made it there. Bugged out of Texarkana to head to Little Rock.
Right?
Little Rock.
Home of
Boyhood home of.
President Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the presidential library and massage parlor for Bill Clinton is located.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And there's a number of streets named. There's one big street. What's the guy's name? A street name we learned actually was named for a poor, mentally disabled young man.
Retard.
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 Apparently identified as by the Union Army as a spy and hung as a spy during the Civil War.
Yeah.
So there's a street name for him. We've actually determined now there's a lot of those streets.
Yeah.
All over the South.
Evidently, the Confederates
They deployed an entire veritable sub-army of
retard spies.
retarded spies.
Yeah, and they all got killed.
Yeah, most of them
Hung.
dead. Most
And
of them
the
dead.
thing is, here's the thing: they would hang them. They would hang these spies, but because of their enormous retard strength, the muscles in their necks, none of their necks wouldn't break. So they would swing in the wind for an hour before they finally suffocated. And it's just
Which is sad and terrible. I shouldn't be laughing. It's a horrible story.
No, it's fascinating.
But
it's
it is
fascinating. It's a fascinating part of history that
It's not covered enough.
Yeah.
It's not covered enough. So we'll cover it more here. So bug out of Texarkana, Little Rock. We're in Little Rock. We make it there in plenty of time. It was awesome. I will say we've been really good this time about getting up pretty early and bugging out.
Yeah.
We did the driver's meeting the first day, wasted time.
Useless.
So save ourselves an hour and a half. But if you're out of the hotel at 8 to 8:30,
8:30 even.
sort of join the route wherever you can. That's cool because you're there in plenty of time.
And you get to roll with a pack.
Roll with a pack.
Always
but-
kind of fun to be in a pack of old cars.
But you're not towards the back because one of the things I've learned, I've got a lot of learnings from this tour, adding to last year's, is you come over these traffic jams. You go through a little town and it's awesome, but there'll be a T junction. Everybody has to turn left, and it'll back up for 3/4 of a mile or a mile.
Up to a mile.
Yeah, easy. So what we do is that's when I look at the map. We get off the route, short circuit that sucker. We can make up 45 minutes, no problem there, which gives us 45 minutes to stop and have a donut,
Yeah.
buy some beer, do what we gotta do, and
You know,
we're still there in plenty of time.
Speaking of donuts, Terrell, Texas,
Yeah,
there's a place called Queen
yeah.
Donuts.
Queen's Donuts, Queen
And,
or Queen's Donuts. Yeah.
and it was pretty good.
Not bad,
It was
not
not bad. The
They had a
lady.
great selection.
They had a
very
good,
nice lady.
very nice selection. The lady was very nice, and she was studying for her pilot's
license. Yeah, private pilot's license. She was going to take it this week.
Yeah. So I wish her the best.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So we got some donuts there and some pierogies and some other things. And back on the route before.
Well, whenever we would get off the route, we would take note of who's in front of us.
Yep.
And usually,
They're right
we
with us.
would be
Yep.
kind of sync up with them.
Yep.
And even if we didn't gain any real time, we weren't sitting in traffic.
Sitting there when we're getting to the venues in plenty of time, which is nice. So we got to Little Rock in plenty of time. Great venue, I will say. Very sprawling, the Four States Fairground.
Yes, big fairground.
Huge. So now you've gone from 1,400 cars, probably 2,000 cars.
Yeah.
More. We'll be spread out, but on the grass, which I like. 'Cause it's less hot.
Well, and actually, we were able to find our way to a stand of trees.
Yeah. Well,
And
Little Rock.
I thought that was Little Rock.
No, we were in trees in Texarkana.
Was that Texarkana?
It was. We parked under the trees. in
My
Texarkana.
mind is
Little
just
Rock.
gravy.
We were parked by the road. So we were in a kind of a sweet spot. People could see us if they drove by.
That's Little Rock.
Yeah. So we came out of Little Rock. We actually decided we were trying to decide what we wanted to do. Was getting up on 3 o'clock. We knew we didn't want to get the AC recharged. I checked my internet phone device, found a place to go get it recharged. We got to the car, and there was a group of gentlemen standing by the car who'd been looking at the car, but really were just standing there kind of chatting amongst themselves.
I think they were more than anything looking at the procession.
Yeah.
And because there was an exit right there, and there was also an entrance right there. So they were just looking at
watching the
stuff
car,
coming and
so.
going. I would love another old fashioned.
I'll have another Manhattan. Thank you very much. And so we're getting in the car, it's my car. I thought to myself, I'm going to ask these guys, are you guys local? Turns out, yeah, all local. Did they know of a place to get the AC recharged? They actually generously offered their own garage.
As a last resort.
As a last resort. The next morning, they would open up their own place. They had all the tools to do it, but recommended a place. Well, that was the Tice.
That was the Tice. Yeah.
Gave us the name. I looked it up, found it. They concurred. We drove over there. We get there, and there's another power tour guy in there getting his AC fixed.
1939 Ford, father and son, out of Minnesota, or
I think so.
Michigan, maybe. Might
One
have
of
been
those
Michigan.
M words from way far away.
Way up north.
But there they were. Their AC had crapped out along the way, and they got it recharged, got it fixed. They'd gotten it recharged in Texas. And these
and
guys
it all
actually
bled
fixed
out.
it.
Yeah.
We took it down there, and I'll tell you what, though, they did a hell of a job.
They did.
They vacuumed it out, inspected it.
Mr. Adams was the guy who had recommended Tice to us, and he said, they will take care of it, and if it isn't working, they will fix it.
They'll make it work.
And they did. And
then we got AC.
And we had AC, which surprisingly brought up a whole list of other issues.
Yeah.
Minor issues, but issues that will be addressed before next year.
Sure. And one thing we did do before that is Bill had been complaining of extreme heat on his side of the car, the driver's side, when he was driving. So I drove for a while. Yeah, when it came my turn, I noticed the same thing, and so upon stopping, being the sort of industrious fellow that I am, I opened the hood and looked and found there was a hole about that big.
With no wires in it,
the
no
firewall.
nothing.
It's about that big. So I took a piece of one of Bill's shirts and tore it up and wadded it up and jammed it in the hole. Turns out you don't get a hot breeze anymore in your leg, which is pretty nice.
I really thought of it more as a hot blast. But
jet blast. So took care of that. So anyway, that's good. We left Little Rock with AC. Now we got AC, rolling with AC.
Rolling with AC?
Rolling with AC. We've determined we don't like driving the car with the windows up, really.
Yeah.
It's loud.
It's loud.
There, and different kind of resonances. It's not very good.
My exhaust system choice, while cool, visually cool and audibly cool.
The people like your exhaust.
They do.
We drive by a group of people, you always give them a little pop of the throttle when you go by.
Yeah.
A little burst of acceleration because it makes a loud noise.
It's kind of crackly.
Yeah,
and
people
kind
like
it has a very unique sound.
The people like it.
And I like it. But it will wear on you when you're driving for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours. And when you roll up the windows, turn the AC, not only does it not get any less, somehow it seems to get
different.
worse.
It's different.
I don't know. But, that's something that can be addressed later.
So how have we eaten on this trip so far?
Poorly.
I would say you're right, I would say the needle would be poor. Last night's dinner was good.
What did we have for dinner last night? Oh,
we went to
the pantry in
Little Rock. Little Rock, yeah.
No, that was a good
because
place.
our hotel restaurant was closed, of course, at fucking 9 o'clock, as they do.
And
but they did send us to the pantry,
which was
just around the corner,
half a mile away,
and actually quite good.
And very good. I had the braised baby back ribs, and
which are not like a smoked or barbecue rib, but
no, they were delicious, delicious.
Yeah.
So if you're in Little Rock, head to the pantry.
Absolutely. There's a lady here, she's bringing us up right. This is tremendous.
Please don't. 10
We don't want to spill anything. That would be. It's not good for anybody.
Absolutely not. Get it to the last drop.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
The cocktail waitresses here are lovely.
However, as I've said many times before, don't shake brown liquor, you stir it.
It's the bubbles.
I don't like bubbles.
The foaming.
I don't like the aeration.
I don't
Anyway,
like it either.
so, we're talking about the food. So the pantry was actually quite good. I
Yeah,
had
very
schnitzel.
good.
This was good. Had a couple
Yeah.
nice drinks.
No schnauzer.
Yeah, no
No
schnitzel.
schnauzer.
Yeah, had a couple of nice drinks. The bartenders was a nice young girl.
Very nice girl.
Told us this is the best restaurant she'd ever worked in. She liked all the food there, and then rattled off places she'd worked at before: Applebee's and Friday.
Chains,
yeah,
national
whole places.
chains, yeah.
But good for her because she's working at a good place now. She'll do well there, and they're good. They're lucky to have her. She's